Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and today I'm going to be starting another weekend reading vlog. It is Friday afternoon at about 4 p.m. I'm very excited because I have a very chill weekend lined up. I'm actually getting ready to go over to our house. Fingers crossed our correct windows got delivered today, so I'm gonna go over and check and see if the windows are there. So fingers crossed we have windows, because that means they can start getting installed next week and we can get things going. But in terms of what I am reading this weekend, first and foremost, I am rereading A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I loved this book when it first came out, and I read the second book and then never read the third book in the series, which is weird because I really enjoyed the first one. I thought the second one was like good, but not as good as the first one. But there is a new companion series that just came out. I actually had an arc of it, like the first book in this series just came out, and I never got to the arc because I needed to finish the original trilogy. And I think that I got an email that my Barnes & Noble special edition of that book is getting delivered, I think, to my mailbox today. So I will also drive by my mailbox, which is like pretty far away from where like our apartment is at the back of the complex. And so I'm not gonna walk half a mile carrying a bunch of boxes. So when I go to the house, I will stop by the mailbox and get all of that lovely happy mail. And real quick before I head out, I'm very excited. I'll have it linked in the description down below if you're interested, because I've had a lot of DMs asking me about it. But I got a new ergonomic office chair, and I've been filling out my planner, back planning up a storm. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I've mostly complained about it on there. My old chair was like a really inexpensive, decade-old upholstered dining chair from Home Goods, and it was not exactly supportive for my back, and I was starting to get excruciating back pain when I would sit to plan for more than like 15 or 20 minutes. So even like getting through putting down the base of a spread was getting to the point where I would be like crippled with pain for the rest of the day. So I was gonna wait till we were in the house because I want to get I'm getting a new desk and everything. But I got a new chair early because I couldn't put up with the back pain any longer. And we were supposed to be in our house months ago. So I was just like, okay, whatever. The only issue is because of I don't have my new desk yet. The arms don't fit under the thing. So I have to push my sofa really far back to use this. And if I put my sofa where it normally goes, I can't walk through here. So last night I had to wheel my chair over there when I shifted everything. I might see if I can switch the positioning of the wall of washi and my desk, because there's a lot more space going on over here. We do have the thermostat there, so I have to be careful. I don't know if it'll fit, but I might make Joe move furniture around with me this weekend. We shall see. But with that being said, I'm going to throw on some shoes and jump in the car and go over and see if the windows that were promised have been delivered. My library. So the goal is to do shelves all the way around, and then do a window seat with shelves underneath, and then shelves all the way around. So I don't know, I'll have to figure something out with this door here, but I will work with the Finnish carpenter and figure out how we will make that work, because I also have light switches to worry about. So someone who is better at designing things will figure that out for me, but that is the dream. It's just 360 degrees of books. That's what I want. So as I was getting in my car to come home, I got an email from the builder saying that the windows got delivered, but not to the house. They got delivered to like the place where the installers will pick them up. And they said they would email me as soon as they had an installation date, which our like project manager is hoping is sometime next week. So fingers crossed that we have the correct windows next week. So if you haven't been following the saga on Instagram, you're probably like, you have windows in your house? Like what? Our windows are supposed to be like have black lines on the outside and white lines on the inside, and we don't have any other color besides like we have white siding, but the exterior of the house that we chose, like that type doesn't have any kind of different colored trim or shutters or anything to make it pop. So we would have like a white house with white windows and literally nothing to break it up. Like the whole look of the house is it's supposed to be the white siding with the black windows. So, and we paid extra for the black windows, and that was like a big part of the look of the house. So we were like, yeah, we need to have the windows that we paid for. So yeah, that has been like this whole kerfuffle. They didn't realize they ordered the wrong windows. They didn't realize they delivered the wrong windows. They didn't realize they installed the wrong windows until I pointed it out to them in November. And then this has been a saga, like an absolute saga of getting these windows. We were told they were going to be delivered in January, and it just keeps getting kicked down the line. So to know that the windows physically exist and they are in the city of Columbus is very reassuring. So fingers crossed this starts to speed along, because I would like to not be in this apartment anymore. So I did have a bit of an impromptu book haul. These were all pre-orders that came in. I actually forgot I pre-ordered a physical copy of this. So it's My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I am super excited to read this. And then this is the like companion series to A Curse So Dark and Lonely that I was talking about. That I did not read my ARC of, but Barnes & Noble had a pre-order sale like a month or 2 months ago or something. So I switched and got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, since it ended up being cheaper than getting it, like pre-ordering it from Amazon. And then this was also a pre-order from the Barnes & Noble sale. I didn't even realize this was like an exclusive edition. I just switched over all of my pre-orders that were like cheaper if I got them from Barnes & Noble. So, yeah, I also had an ARC of this that I didn't read, so I need to reread the first book, I think, before I jump into this. I actually do remember most of the first book, so maybe I'll try just reading this, but yeah, I've been really terrible about my ARCs this year, but I feel like I'm getting back on the horse, so to speak. So I feel like I briefly mentioned earlier that my primary goal this weekend is going to be to read A Curse So Dark and Lonely and then get through the sequels if possible. I don't know if I'll be able to get through all three this weekend. I'm actually already halfway through this book. I listened to a bunch of it on audiobook yesterday while I was filling out like back planning, now that I have a good supportive chair and it doesn't hurt my back. I just like spent all yesterday afternoon planning. I am very excited to primarily read these books. Like I said, I've read the first two, but I never read the third one. And like I just showed, I got the first book in the companion series in, and I don't know. I feel like I haven't really been vibing with YA recently. And I do think part of it is a lot of books that would have been published as YA, like if they came out 5 years ago, are getting published now as adult. Like some of the books that you could kind of tell like they should have been adult, but they got like aged down a little bit, which I would argue, like I think if this came out today or a book like this came out today, it would probably get picked up by an adult imprint. Like the characters are all 20 and it reads more like new adult and not so much like YA. But there was definitely a period of time where like most fantasy targeted at 20-something women was just being published as YA. So I think that's why I'm still vibing with this, because basically every YA fantasy I've picked up this year I've hated. I mean, I've hated like everything I've picked up this year, which has been a real problem, because I don't love hating books. I like liking books. I'm not like one of those people who hate reads things. So that aside, I'm very glad. I was so afraid. I 5-starred this the first time I read it, and I was so afraid that I was gonna pick this up and like, which is part of why I've been afraid to like reread these, because it's been so long. I knew I needed to reread them before I jumped into the third book. I'm so glad. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 5-star again. I am absolutely loving it. So I'm glad that this still works for me. With that being said, I am going to try to clean up this hot mess. I normally make Friday my cleaning day, like doing all my weekly cleaning things like vacuuming, and I have done none of that. I don't know if I'm going to gather like the gumption to clean my bathrooms. I might wait and do that tomorrow. I did clean my shower while I was showering today, so like thumbs up for that, because it takes me longer to clean my shower than to clean like the rest of my bathroom altogether. But I think I am going to run the vacuum, so at least I did something. And I need to water my orchids. I just looked up and there's like a yellow leaf on that, and I normally water my orchids on Friday, and I'm like, I should do that. So yeah, I feel like I'm feeling very chatty. I took this last week off. I needed a week to like recuperate and just like, I don't know, just chill out, relax. Had like a lot going on the past couple weeks, so like to take the last few days off has just been glorious and lovely and wonderful, and I got like peace and rest and relaxation. So yeah, I am just going to bring you guys along with me on this weekend. I don't know, I'm just feeling like a chatty Cathy. So yeah, that's all for now. I'm going to go clean and be an adult, which apparently I am. So I'm gonna go do adult things. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how much reading is going to get done tonight. So if you watch my plan with me, as you've seen me, I play this game Balloons a lot, and Joe and I are sitting out here on the patio, and I play on my iPad, and he has like a foldable screen phone that's like a tablet. So say hello to the vlog, Joe.
Hello.
And we're having a drink, and we ordered pizza for delivery because I really don't want to cook tonight. So I'm excited to have delicious pizza, and we're just gonna like play Balloons and have a couple drinks, eat some pizza, and just like live our best lives on a Friday night. I mean, that sounds like ideal. That's an ideal night to me. So I'm very much looking forward to just relaxing and not having to clean up the kitchen tonight. So I'll check in with you guys later. Again, might not be reading until tomorrow morning with my coffee, but that's okay. Just got our pizza delivered, and I am so excited. We also got some delicious like garlicky cheesy bread, and my body is ready. I'm so hungry. So Joe and I switched my wall of washi with my desk. I think this will be serviceable. We're only going to be here for another month and a half, 2 months tops. I can deal with it. And then I put my washi cart over here next to the TV, or not my washi cart, my planner cart, and I can just really easily move it over here while I'm planning, or get up out of my seat and go over there. That's I think what I'm gonna have to do to not move my chair every night. Good job, Joe. Good evening. I've been a terrible vlogger this afternoon. I slept in really late this morning, so the clip that you saw of me drinking my coffee earlier was almost noon. So it is 6 o'clock now, and I'm in the mood to eat something like a little more wholesome for dinner since we had pizza last night, and not gonna lie, I had leftover pizza for lunch. So I was digging through my pantry trying to see what I could come up with, like my fridge, my pantry, what I had to like whip something together that had actual vegetables in it. So I had an eggplant, and I had a couple of tomatoes, and I'm going to make the sauce component of this old plated recipe. I've made it like multiple times, so I've not really read at all today, other than listening to a little bit of my audiobook. I woke up in the middle of the night and it took me a little bit to fall back asleep, so I listened to some audiobook then. But I really want to finish A Curse So Dark and Lonely tonight, so once I eat dinner, I'm going to just like chill out on the sofa and read my book and crank through it. I think I can probably finish it tonight. So that is the goal, and I will check in with you guys later. And dinner is served. So I'm getting ready to sit down and read A Curse So Dark and Lonely and hopefully try to finish it tonight. I'm really enjoying it. I'm past the halfway point, so I would like to finish it tonight. It's a very fast read, but I don't think I said what this was about when I was talking about it yesterday. So it is a YA fantasy. I would definitely say it's an older YA fantasy. It has more adult appeal than other YA fantasy. Say if you're like a fan of ACOTAR or any of those other like higher end YA fantasy books that now are kind of like, you're seeing more of that stuff being published as new adult or adult, this would like fall into a similar vibe as those. So A Curse So Dark and Lonely is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it's also a portal fantasy. So at the very beginning of this book, our main female character, Harper, sees this dude kidnapping a woman on the streets of DC, and she tries to save this girl and ends up being the one who is kidnapped herself. She is taken to a fantastical land where there is a prince who lives in a castle who has been cursed. So basically this like evil enchantress put a curse on our main dude character, Ren, and Ren has to get a woman to fall in love with him within a fixed time frame, and then if he doesn't have like a girl fall in love with him by the end of that time frame, he turns into a monster that terrorizes his country, and then like the time loop resets itself and he has to like do it over and over and over again. So he has been like stuck in this time bubble inside the palace, reliving like the same 3 months or something over and over and over again. The like catch being that anyone that he kills when he's a monster does not come back to life. So he has killed like everyone except for one remaining like guard, and that is Gray, who is one of my favorite characters in a YA fantasy book ever. I feel like it's weird to read a book where you like the side character more than, well, I like Harper, but like Ren is sort of like a little bland, but like Gray, he's pretty great. I really like him. And actually the second book in the series is from Gray's point of view, and it's like what happens after the first book. It's not like taking place during the same time period, but I liked getting to see more of Gray in that book as well. But yeah, it's like very classic YA fairy tale retelling stuff, but I really like the disability rep in this. Harper has cerebral palsy, and that definitely is a large part of the story, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish reading this. So far, I am really, really enjoying it. I actually do remember a fair amount of this, but I didn't remember like all of the smaller details. Like I remembered some of the big like points about the book, or like big like plot points, but I didn't remember a lot of the smaller things. So yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit past halfway, and I am loving this just as much as I loved it the first time. I was really nervous. Like I think I said yesterday, I was really nervous to pick this up because I was afraid I would not like it as much anymore. And that was like part of my hesitation why I've put off rereading the series to finish it for so long. But I just really like Harper, and I really like Gray. Gray is like my favorite character out of the three of them, and he doesn't even have point of view chapters. But I just like love how like off the wall Harper can be. And there's basically an element of this book where Harper pretends to be a princess from a fictional kingdom and pretends that she is like, she lies to the common folk and says that she's like in an arranged marriage, like going to be married to Ren, and that her father has this like super powerful army, and they like start like spreading news that like this entirely fictional, powerful army is going to come and like help with some border skirmishes and stuff, because like other neighboring countries are like, well, the monarchy seems to have just like disappeared, and we have no idea what's going on, and there's like this weird monster that keeps terrorizing them like in this area every however so often, and yeah, so we're gonna like just take advantage of this chaos and like, you know, invade the country and like take it for ourselves. So it's just like a lot of political, I don't know how to explain how fun this is other than it's just like a blast to watch this girl who has no idea like what anything means. She's like not skilled in politics or any of that kind of stuff just like lie through her teeth and like con people into believing she is a princess with like political and military might, and she like literally has no idea what she's talking about. And it's really funny, at least it's really funny to me, in some of the conversations where she like is clearly just making stuff up as she's going along, and like half of it, like anyone who's familiar with like military or political stuff is like, what are you talking about? And I enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, there is like a romance in this, but I'm like halfway through and there like has barely been any romance. So I feel like a lot of people would like bill this as a fantasy romance, and I guess in like a way it is a fantasy romance, but it's more like it has more political stuff going on, and like there is a romance, but like I said, we're past the halfway point and there's been like a couple of like small moments, but the romance is definitely like not taking center stage right now. It's more like the political maneuverings that are at the center of the book right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into it, and I'll let you guys know final thoughts and feelings if this is still a 5-star read for me by the time I get to the end of it. So I got about 2/3 of the way through A Curse So Dark and Lonely, but Love Island is calling my name, and I know I said I was going to finish this tonight, but I think I'm going to finish this tomorrow and watch an episode of Love Island, and then like go to bed on the earlier side, wake up tomorrow morning well rested, and have a day full of reading. Good morning. Joe has gotten me Taco Bell breakfast, my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I have my coffee. I'm going to probably watch some YouTube while I eat this and then go back to planning, which is what I was doing up until this lovely human being just brought me my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Joe and I just ran a bunch of errands. We went to the house to take measurements of some closets for some custom stuff we want to have done. We went to Giant Eagle, we went to Target, we went to Walmart, so we've been gone like in the car for like a couple hours. So I need to put all this away, and then hopefully I can get some more reading done tonight. I didn't expect today to be so jam-packed full of stuff. I'm like in the middle of doing a ton of laundry too, so you know, adulting, not my favorite thing in the whole wide world, but gotta do it. All right, I've put you up on top of my fridge because I'm about to make Joe's loaf of sandwich bread for the week. I really like making bread and he really likes homemade bread, so I make a loaf of sandwich bread for Joe's sandwiches for the week, and I'm gonna do that right now. So we're gonna rock and roll. Have I read since I listened to my audiobook this morning? No, I have not. Do I have a mountain of towels I have to fold? Yes, I do. Did I pour myself a glass of wine to motivate myself to fold the towels? Yes. Yes, I did. So we're gonna do that. I would really love to read. That is the goal. I want to be reading, but all of the adult things had to happen today, so, you know, gonna do more adult things. So my bread has been rising for an hour, and now it's time to put it in the tin. So I just finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I still really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's still quite a 5-star, but it's definitely at least a 4-star, if not like a 4.5. I definitely see like there are some, not like flaws, but there's things where I'm kind of like, now that I'm a more experienced fantasy reader, I see some sort of like gaps in logic, but that didn't really take away from my enjoyment of the book. Like, I feel like this isn't a book you read because you want like intense world building. This is a book you read because it's fun. And I still had a lot of fun with this book. It made me feel like happy that I could read a book and just like enjoy it and have fun with it. It made me feel not so dead inside. So I'd say probably like a 4.5 for right now on this. I still had a really good time with it. I enjoyed the writing. I've always liked Brigid Kemmerer's writing. I like her contemporary. I've enjoyed her fantasy. It held up. I was so afraid I was going to read this and hate it since it's been so many years since I've read it, but it held up. I still really enjoyed it, and I'm still trash for Grey. So yeah, I am excited to jump into book 2. I do remember it being like a step down in quality in the second book, and I've heard the third book also not great, but I do want to finish it because I want to start the new series set in this world. You know, I'm a hoe for Grey. What can I say? So Joe and I are going to sit out here for a little bit while the sun sets, and I poured myself, it's like a few hours later, but I poured myself a second glass of wine. It's almost 9 p.m., so it's been like 4 hours since the first glass of wine. But yeah, I am going to just enjoy the evening, and I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, Editing Sam from the future here to wrap up this weekend reading vlog, and I was able to finish A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I just had so much fun reading this, and I feel like this book reminded me that I can still just have fun while reading a book. I feel like a lot of what I've been reading hasn't necessarily been fun, if that makes sense. Even some of the stuff that I've liked, I haven't had fun or been this entertained reading a book in quite a long time. So this was definitely what I needed right now. And I immediately jumped into a weekly reading vlog where I read the rest of this series and the first book in the companion series. So keep an eye out for that, because that will be the next week, the next reading vlog that gets posted after this. So I am just having a good time reading again, and I feel like this book is what kicked it off. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye guys.